Hello my friends, welcome to another episode of Stephanie's Stamp Pad where we get together and we make a card. Today's card is oh so cute, and look at that, it says hello with some cute little hearts on there. And we're gonna make this so fast and so easy you're gonna kind of like, your head's gonna spin because it looks complicated but it's so simple. Now, some of the products that we're gonna use are my Sizzix Framelit drop-ins, and this is, the official name of this one is the Scallop with Greetings drop-ins. And instead of saying cheers, ours is gonna say hello, so that's gonna be lots of fun. So we're gonna learn how to use those. We're also going to use the hearts to cut. We are going to use some pink beautiful glitter buttons, some pink and white twine, some yellow seam binding, and we're going to use lots of ink pads. We are going to use ocean, green apple, guava, banana, and candy. Oh, beautiful color combination, isn't it? Let's get started. The first thing I always like to do is I like to cut out my card base. I figure the best thing to do is get my foundation started and then I can build on my foundation. So I'm going to use the Ginger Snap cardstock, and to make sure this is the right size to run through my die cut machine, I'm going to use my extended cutting pad. I'm going to simply tear, save this for another project, but what's under my cutting pad is going to be the perfect size for my die cutting card. So I'm going to bring this over. Get my machine over here, and I'm using the extended cutting pads and the extended magnetic platform, and I'm grabbing the die set. Let's get all these pieces out here. Now this comes with 15 dies, but do not be overwhelmed with the number 15. You're going to focus on the 3 largest dies. Those are the most important in the kit. So if you get those out, you're good to go. Then we're going to add the word hello. Now if we wanted to, we could have this say cheers or hello or congrats, but we want it to say hello. So now let's cut out our card base. That's the largest die in the kit. We're going to put it a little tiny bit at an angle so it still fits on our platform, but it's going to give us a nice clean cut because we won't have any speed bumps. We're going to run that through just like that. Now the die is cutting and scoring the cardstock for me, so it's really fantastic. We're going to peel that up. So now I have my card base. I'm going to put that off to the side, and then I'm going to get the next layering piece. That's that fun little piece that has all those little scallop eyelets. Now I'm going to use my little roller brush because I see that I didn't clean this the last time I used it, and now it's nice and clean, ready to go. So then what we're going to do is we're going to get our pink cardstock. We're going to lay that down, and we're going to lay this down. Now, if I wanted this to be a solid with no words in it, I could run this through and we could use it and keep going. But I want to cut out that frame and cut out that word that says hello. So I'm going to use what I call the magic rectangle. The magic rectangle is going to go right on the inside, and you'll notice that it has this notch taken out of it. This notch will not cut anything because I need to add the other die to cut that out. And again, I've noticed that I'm not a very good housekeeper. So we have some pieces in there. Okay, then I'm going to take this die that does have the notches, and I'm going to lay that right on the inside. Do not overlap the dies. Don't put one on top of the other. Put them side by side. So I'm going to line that up just like that. Make sure everything's nice and lined up. Now, as I'm lining all of this up, I need to remind you, I'm using the magnetic platform. That's not going to go anywhere. So once I put it where I want it to go, I'm ready to go. So I'm going to line that up. Now, here's another tip though. I travel the United States and the world teaching classes, and people will line everything up and then they'll put their cutting pad down and they'll move it all around before they get it in there. And their dies move. Don't move. If you force these dies to move, they will move. So we're going to lay this pivot, we're going to pivot our cutting pad, stick it into the machine, gently lay it down. That way my dies are not going to move, because if you force them to move, they will move. Now we're going to run all of that through. Now that was a lot of blade. Listen to that. That crunching sound is good because that means it's cutting. But you know what I like to do? I like to go back just to make sure that it really got cut, especially on video, because sometimes they don't always cut just because people are watching. So now we're going to peel all this up. That's saved for later. We're going to peel this up. And now we have our word hello. Now you'll see that it's kind of stuck just where the 2 dies met up. there's like a little chad there. If that bothers you, you can just use your fingernail, kind of rub it down a little. I know some people really like to make sure it looks perfect, so they'll get some scissors and cut it out. I just rub it with my fingernail and now it's gone. So I like to do that. Now I give it a little flick if you want to. You can also use a paper piercer just to get all those little extra pieces out. They're all cut, they just need to be poked out. They don't want to leave the little word. And let's not do it on our finger here. We should be using our secret weapon there. Okay, so now we have this all nice and die cut. Let's move that off to the side. And let's do some stamping. So let's get our secret weapon. We always want to stamp on our secret weapon because it gives us a better impression every time. And we're going to take our card base, and it's already scored for us, so we're just going to fold that down. That was easy, right? Then we're going to get a little rectangle. We've already die cut a little rectangle, and I'm just going to lay that down. You'll see that that's going to go right there, but I need to stamp it. So I'm going to stamp it with some of my heart stamps, and I'm going to use the ocean and the bubble gum, candy, ocean and candy, to to stamp some hearts. So here I have my cute little heart. Now this is a brand new set. When I do videos, I usually grab a brand new set just so it's nice and clean and pretty for you. So I'm going to stamp on some scratch paper. The first 1 or 2 times that you ever stamp using a new stamp set, you always want to stamp on scratch paper. Look at the difference. That was my first one, that was my second one. Every one after that is going to be better and better. So what you want to do is always stamp on scratch paper first, and then you can stamp on your project. So we'll do one there. We'll do one there. And then let's do our blue ocean flower. We want to grab our ocean chevron, flower. I keep calling them flowers. Hearts. So let's grab this one. Again, this is a brand new set, so I'm going to just stamp onto scratch paper. This is kind of conditioning the stamp. Do not ever, ever, ever use sandpaper or anything like that on my stamps. Oh my word, please do not ever do that. Okay, so we're going to stamp that on there. And now what we're going to do, cover your ink pads. They won't dry out. They're so juicy-loosey, but you'll put your hand in it on accident. Now, I've also already stamped and die cut some of the hearts. Now here are those hearts, and I want to show you what that looks like. So I've already stamped them, and I'm going to bring them over here so you can see. So I've already stamped them, and then I'm going to die cut them. So I'm going to get the matching dies. You always want to stamp first and then die cut because you'll get a better cut if you do that. Now you'll notice, see how my magnet, my blade is moving around. It's not staying where I want it to go. Let the die tell you where to go because it's snapping to a magnet. So let it snap to the magnet where it wants to, and then you're going to lay your die right on top, and then you'll get a better cut. So now this one, let's grab this one and lay this one down. Again, if it snaps, that's okay. Just let it line up to where it wants. There we go, and then we're going to run those through. That's how easy that is. So we'll just run those through. Did you see how I pivoted that cutting pad? We don't want those dies to move. They'll move if you force them. Okay, so now let's put all of this together. We're going to take our green heart. Oh, and I added Sizzix adhesive to the back already. I cheated just a little because it's so much easier if you do that ahead of time. And then I have my cute little yellow hearts. What I'm going to do with those, oh, I don't have adhesive on those because I'm going to use foam squares on the back of those. So they just need 1 each. That's easy peasy. Oh, not 2, just 1. Save that one for later. So we're going to peel this one off. Add that one right there. Peel this one off. Make sure you leave room for your hello here. And add that one right there. And then we want to add our hello, but what I want to do first is I want to ink this a little bit because it's so pretty, and here we have some scratch paper as you can see. And so I'm going to get my guava, because this is guava cardstock, so I'm going to get my guava ink. Now I like to use the little tiny ink pads for my inking. I'm going to start on the edge and just work my way on. And I'm just going to add a little tiny extra, and I'm going to show you the before and after on this because I want you to see that inking really does add. And you wouldn't think, I know when I first started getting into inking, I didn't really think it would add that much, but it really brings your project to life. And it's important to me to have it look gorgeous. So I'm just going to add a little bit here. You can always add more if you want. Cover those up. Okay, so now let's put some of this together. And I use my scratch paper over and over and over. Let's add a little bit of adhesive. Where'd my adhesive go? We're going to add some adhesive, just right there. And we're going to add our white. We're going to lay that down. Oh, let's not do it on there because we don't want to get adhesive on that. Line that up just right there. Perfect. And then we're going to get that little chat out of there. There we go. Then we're going to add a little bit more adhesive and add this to my card. And we are almost done. Because now what we're going to do, get that all down, is we're going to add just a little bit of ribbon. So we're going to take the seam binding and we're just going to tie a cute little bow. See how easy this was? And we're going to just fix the legs, tie that a little bit more, get some scissors, trim that ever so slightly, trim that one, oops, trim that one. So we're going to add a little zot to it so it will stay. Add that to the top right there. And then we are going to finish this off with that little glitter button and some twine right in the center, just because. Just because. Because we can. There we go. Whoops. Did I get some? Oh, did I not get any on there? I don't think it ended up on there. There we go. Add that and look at that. Now I want you to see the difference on the pink, inked and not inked. You can just really see the difference, how it just brings it to life. And look at our finished card. Isn't that fantastic? So much fun and so simple. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Stephanie's Stamp Pad. I hope you learned something new today. Join me next week for another episode. Thanks. Bye-bye.